So, Andor episodes 7, 8, and 9 are out now. So today we're going to discuss such things as, will other characters that we've seen before show up again? Will we get more of not Jimmy Smits? Will the Force finally make a guest appearance in a Star Wars show? You know, fun things like that. So, join me today as we talk about Andor episodes 7, 8, and 9. This is the Geek Cabal channel. If you've not been here before, my name is Bobbie, and today we're going to be talking about episodes 7, 8, and 9 of the Star Wars series Andor on Disney+. And, yeah, there will definitely be some spoilers here. I will try to separate those into a later section in case you don't want to hear them. Some plot lines that have been building over the last 6 episodes have finally come to fruition. And things have come to a head in several situations. Hate to say what they are, because they're all spoilers, but yeah, let's see. The writing's pretty good. Acting, great as usual. We only see Luthen in one of the 3 episodes, episode 9. Episodes 7 and 8 center a lot around the Gorman situation. So we get a lot of Cassian. I don't remember the other guy's name. It starts with a W. Some stuff with Bix. And then some things with Deidre and Cyril on the Imperial side. And then of course the Gorman folks in general. Also, it should be noted that the episode 7 opens. We've moved another year forward. The rebels are starting to set up their base on Yavin 4. So we do start to see some familiar sides. Obviously, some things happened in the 1-year gap, because it looks a lot like Luthen isn't the top dog here. And I don't even know 100% for certain, like, how connected he is to what's going on in Yavin 4, because Cassian and some interactions he has make it sound an awful lot like Luthen's trying to ask him to come back to him when he's thrown in his lot with the folks on Yavin 4, because he's come to realize that, you know, the spy crap isn't going to cut it. At some point they're going to need an actual army to fight the Empire, and that's what they're building there on Yavin 4. So we see, you know, bits of that, him trying to find his place in all this. Let's see, is it General Draven, who's in Rogue One? He's in this, and is trying to give Cassian the whole, like, look, at some point you've got to pick which part of the rebellion you're with here, because, like, we need to know, like, are you with us or not? So you have that. Then he and, again, I don't remember the other gentleman's name, is the guy in the last set of episodes went with Saw Gerrera. And he basically tries to convince Cassian to come with him to assassinate Deidre. And because she's there on Gorman and is clearly running the show. So they want to take her out. And yeah, so that plot line kind of advances a bit, but well, I don't really want to go into that or get into spoilers. Okay, so like I said, everything's pretty well written. Things come to a head in episode 8 as far as the Gorman situation, and then episode 9, the Coruscant situation. So yeah, like the big payoff is in episode 8. And there are reactions that are kind of unexpected from a number of people. So, and I'll talk to that a little bit in the spoiler section. But overall, I thought they were really good episodes, and really see just how callous the Empire is with people and their lives, and You know, they need something there on Gorman, so they're going to get it. And, yeah. So that's about all I can really say without going into spoilers. So we're going to do that now. If you're cutting out here, appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. This is YouTube. Presumably you know how that all works. But, yeah, we're going to jump into spoilers here. So, Episode 8 is where the Gorman situation totally explodes. The Empire sends someone in to basically create the situation, create the volatile situation, and force it to explode. And so Cassian shows up, is pretending to be a reporter, and the guy at the hotel is the guy who checked him in last time. The guy that took him up to his room, and the guy recognized him, and so knew that he definitely wasn't with the news network, and tried to warn him about some things, very subtly. And so the following morning, when he comes down and tells him he's leaving and probably not coming back, the guy tells him, I didn't, put you in the system, so don't worry, no one knows you're here. And Cassian tells him, I hope everything works out for you. And that's when he turns, the guy turns to him and says, well, rebellions are built on hope. The line from Rogue One. So, before he left, though, he and Bix went down like the main area, like the common area or whatever it is there on Yavin 4, and there was a woman who was a Force healer, and she's in the middle of doing something. Cassian sees that she's there, Force healing people, and thinks that Bix, brought him out of this because she knows that he doesn't believe in any of that. But the woman can sense him and comes over to him and does her thing, and then tells him that she felt something that she hasn't felt in a long time, and he thinks it's all hokum, so he leaves. And she tells Bix that he's a messenger, and she's not sure, some of the details, but that he's important somehow. And then Bix leaves and goes there, and his shoulder's better. So clearly she was actually able to use the Force and do that. But he doesn't want to face it because it's unsettling. And it leads to something later. So then he leaves to go on the Gorman mission. So the Empire has decided that they need, I think it was a calcite that's there on Gorman, and, well, they're going to take it. They're going to have to go with option number 1. So Deidre isn't quite ready for that. She's I guess has not mentally prepared herself for that. And Cyril has definitely become sympathetic to the other people, as I said he might. So he tries to warn them, because she tells him, be ready to leave whenever I say we're leaving. We're going home to Coruscant. And so he realizes that the jig is up, and there's rumors that they've already begun landing mining equipment, and just various other things. And she's been talking about there's evidence of outside agitators, which is who he thought he was trying to draw in for them to capture. So he tries to tell the Gorman folks, that he doesn't know what's happening, because he doesn't, but that, that this isn't what was supposed to happen. It was supposed to draw in outside agitators, not these people. And, the Gorman guy, it's the guy from the fabric shop, the guy who's been trying to be the voice of reason all this time and try to tell the people they need to have non-violent resistance. So everyone goes and marches in the square, because the Empire had it kind of sealed up and guarded, so they withdraw their forces to the Imperial building there. And he realizes that it's a trap and tries to warn the other people, the older gentleman from the garment shop. because he's trying to tell them, like, look, guys, that they want us to come in. They want us to fight. That will give them their cause to hit us with everything they've got, which is more than what we've got. And so Cyril ends up going in there the morning of, and Cassian sees this big meeting, but he also sees everything's a raid, and so he's, kind of worried about everything. But everyone just, they grab their weapons and they go down to the square there. And once a lot of people are in there, the guy that they've sent to get everything cooking, he orders the square sealed so that the entrances are blocked with stormtroopers and tanks and everything. And then they have created a corridor with their... they're not K-rails, but they're kind of like those. They're not bunkers, but barricades. That's what I'm trying to think of. And so they they called in a group of soldiers that are green soldiers just out of training, and they send them out there to go do guard patrol in the crowd, because they know that the crowd is going to attack them, or that they're going to overreact and get the ball rolling. That's the whole point. And so they get out there. One of the guys kind of figures it out and gets the crowd singing instead of all pissed off. And so, but the guys are still forming their wedge, trying to get through the crowd. And it does what they hope it'll do. However, they do have a little bit of help, because the Empire has a sniper who shoots one of the soldiers to make the soldiers think the crowd shot him. Then the soldiers start reacting, and once the soldiers start shooting, then the crowd starts shooting back. Then the guy inside the building gives the order for the stormtroopers to open fire, and they just start mowing people down. And of course, the sniper's still doing his thing. Cassian's got a sniper rifle and trying to shoot Deidre, but she's not out on the balcony long enough, and she keeps going behind the armored glass. And Cyril is inside the building, and he's goes and confronts Deidre, and is like, what the hell's happening here? Like, what are we doing? And she's like, look, Cyril, you need you to calm down. And Cyril finally flips the fuck out and, like, manhandles Deidre. And you can see that, like, she's terrified, because I'm gonna guess she's never had a man that, like, just went on the offensive like that physically against her. So he's like, I don't want any part of this. Like, I didn't sign up to get these people wiped out, So he leaves the building, goes outside beyond the barricades, and ends up in the crowd as the massacre begins. And she tries to get him back in the building, but she can't find him. Then they realize he's out there in the crowd. So as everything's going to shit, the Empire sends out some of their war bots, the K2SO model from Rogue One. You could probably see where this is going. So they go out there and just start beating people to death. And and the Empire, they're taking heavy losses too. Then Cyril spots Cassian, and he goes after him, and they start fighting. Cassian doesn't even recognize Cyril, and Cyril has him dead to rights, gonna shoot him, gonna kill him, and then the shop owner shoots Cyril in the side of the head. So he's dead. Cassian probably never even knows who it is. The shop owner recognizes him, doesn't say anything. They leave. Cassian's friend that brought him there has been wounded. Well, no, he goes and he has to find this woman that works for the Resistance because he's in love with her. So Cassian leaves him. They're trying to escape, and one of the droids is after him, and a guy smashes like a hover tank into it, breaks it, and shuts it down. And so then he loads up the parts because he's like, well, I'll take it back to the rebellion, which he does. And but he gets directed to go to Coruscant because Mon Mothma is going to give a speech based on what happened, and they've got to do some political maneuvering to get Bail Organa to give her the floor so she can make the speech. And as she finds out that her driver has been working, not a driver, that her her assistant has been working for Luthen this whole time, and or at least since the wedding, I think. And so she's real pissed off about that. Luthen warns her that someone within Bail's team is compromised and is an Imperial agent. So he's going to send Cassian. And so after she delivers her address, the guy is in charge of the ISB at that particular point to monitor the Senate, tries to cut the feed, but it has to be cut there. And the room where it's supposed to be, where you can do that, the passcode's not working. So the guy has to go to a different room and shut it down, but it's not before she finishes her speech, where basically she blames all of this and on the, as she put it, the monster that we created. And then she's point blank names the monster Emperor Palpatine. So she's got to get out of there. So Cassian grabs her. They get past the woman who's with the ISB. Cassian just guns her down. Mon Mothma's a little surprised at this. Then he also shoots her driver, who's also with the ISB. And they escape. They go to the safe house they were in the previous episodes. His friend is there from Gorman, but he's injured, and so he's like, well, we need to get him to a doctor. And then they're like, well, we're going to have someone else bring in Mon Mothma because we want it to be a little more of a flourish. Like, the important part is it got done, not who gets the credit. And he's like, I don't care. So then they go back to Yavin 4. He gets a doctor for his friend. General Draven's there, and he's like, look, we're not even going to mention that you left. Don't worry about it. Then he goes to Bix, kind of talks about everything, tells her that he's done. He's quitting. He's like, the two of them are just going to leave. He's like, I can't do this anymore. He's like, I'm done. I've seen too much. Like, I'm good. And then he wakes up and she's gone. And she left him a recording. And she's like, I'm leaving. She's like, I can't interfere with what you have to do. Like, if you're leaving because of me, then don't. Like, I'll leave. I'll come find you once we've defeated the Empire. So I'm pretty sure we're not going to see Bix again, because Cassian does not live to see the end of the Empire. Bail Organa stays behind in the Senate to try to provide some kind of cover to Mon Mothma. Luthen stays behind on Coruscant. She tries to warn him, like, they're too close, they're going to catch us. Cassian tries to warn him of the same thing. Luthen's like, dude, they're going to hang us both at some point. Like, I'm going to do what I can to help the rebellion until I'm done. So yeah. The end of the Dedra-Cyril couple, because Cyril is dead. Dedra, surprisingly, I think she might turn, because the way she reacted after seeing everything, like, she's there in like a little room there in the command center, like, you can tell she's like on the verge of throwing up or something. Like, she obviously never imagined that it would come to that, and that those people would just be murdered like that, and that, you know, the Empire would set them up that way and everything. Or maybe it's this, maybe it's Cyril's death, maybe it's, I don't know what exactly it is, but I think she's probably done for the Empire. Like, and it's either going to turn to, like, internalized hatred, and she's going to take it out on everyone else like Vader, or she's jumping ship. Maybe to the rebellion, maybe not, who knows. But, like, I think that finally broke her. And yeah, I finally felt bad for Cyril's mom, because she's sitting there watching the news and knows that Cyril's there on Gorman and has no idea what's happened to him yet. So yeah, a lot of downer things happen in these episodes. And I'm not gonna lie, Bix's message to Cassian, especially that whole, like, I'll find you once the Empire's defeated. Like, that brought a tear to my eye. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, that's not hard. That's not easy to do. Like, there's not much in fiction that gets me to that point, but just that whole, like, oh man, lady, you have no idea. Like, we know as the audience. But yeah, so 3 episodes left. Next week, the finale. Depending on what I've got going on, if I've got time, I'm going to do what the director recommended and watch Rogue One immediately afterwards. So if I do, I'll tell you how it goes. But yeah, that's all I've got to say on this one. Excellent episodes. The best thing Star Wars related Disney has made continues to chug along at an excellent clip here. So I just wish this somehow could have actually been the 5 seasons we were promised, because this could have been like epic level storytelling if it would have been this good throughout. But we're getting what we're getting. It's pretty good, but it's not pretty good, it's excellent. So yeah, that's what I've got to say on that. So if you like what you heard, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Comment down below. Are you watching the show? Are you watching these videos? Because not many people seem to be. You know, oh well. But yeah, just let me know down in the comments. Sharing and commenting on things that help us grow the channel, I always appreciate it. But yeah, and subscribing, of course. You know, that's the metric of success, such as it is here on YouTube. And yeah, so that's all I've got to say. So just remember, the Force will be with you always.